Oh, welcome back. Good morning, Tobago. And viewers, lately we've been inundated with stories and with issues being faced, especially by our young people within our society. And the question is always, what intervention should be made and what should we doing to perhaps stem some of these behaviors that are developing among our young people so that they don't become deviant members of society when they become adults. And one of those programs is the Crossroads programs that was introduced to schools back in 2005. But of course, these programs, even though they may be good, they also need the help of you, the viewers, or the public to make sure that they can continuously run and continuously make the impact. So we're going to talk a little bit about that this morning and how you can help. So for this, I'm going to be joined by Independent Senator Dr. Maria Dillon-Remy. So good morning and welcome to you, Dr. Remy. How are you doing this morning?
Long time since I've seen you. It's good to be here with you, and good morning to your viewing and listening public.
Good morning, Dr. Remy. Of course, you're joining us from Trinidad. It would have been really nice to have you here in studio this morning, but we could still see you and have a conversation with you, which is great this morning.
Yes, yes, great. It's great to be here.
All right. Now, first of all, give us a little backstory, a little history about the Crossroads program.
Okay, so Candace, it was a long time ago when, at the point in time, we were having the HIV epidemic, and we were talking about young people and the choices that they make, and what could be done about helping them. And this program, which was designed to help young people make better decisions as a result of helping them build strong character traits, this program was designed for that. So when we started in 2005, that was our main risk behavior at the time, sexually transmitted infections. Now, there are many other risk behaviors that are even more prevalent now. You have the issues related to violence and bullying and anger and even issues related to, well, drugs, etc. So the Crossroads programs, when it started specifically to help young people be able to make wise decisions. So the program was started in schools in 2005 under the then Secretary of Education, Mrs. Claudia Groom-Duke. She was the person involved at that time, and Mr. London was the Chief Secretary. And it continued under the other secretaries until now. So in this classroom, we have the children being taught about relationships. That's the first module. And the relationships are relationships with themselves, relationships with peers, relationships with adults, etc. And even relationships in terms of spiritual, their relationship with God. We also talk about the character pillars. 6 pillars of character: respect, responsibility, trustworthiness, being caring, being just and fair, and being good citizens. Those are the pillars of character we teach the children. We also teach them about the STIs, and that module can be replaced with any other drugs. In other words, any other risk behavior can be included there. And as I said, there are many risk behaviors that they're dealing with now. We also teach them, give them skills. So they are life skills that they learn, and they are taught about their future, navigating their future, planning for their future. So it's a very comprehensive program, and um, it has been well accepted by the schools over the years, and also by the students.
Certainly. And can you tell me a little bit about some of that impact that it has had over the years? What were some of the success stories coming out of it?
Candace, there are quite a few, but this one stands out. On the One day, the facilitators were having a meeting, and one of the facilitators, who was at Signal Hill School, was called by a grandparent. And the grandparent said to him, he didn't know the person who was calling. And the grandparent said to him, "Sir, I don't know what you are doing with my grandson, but I just want to thank you for what you're doing." And he said, "Well, what is happening?" And it happened that this child was giving a lot of trouble in school. He was also giving a lot of trouble at home. And whatever they were trying at home, they were at their wits' end. And whatever intervention was used in the classroom, apparently something broke in the child, and the child switched. And a light bulb, let's say, went on in his head, And he decided that he was going to change his behavior. And that was seen by the parent, the grandparent. And they decided that they were going to call Sir to thank him for the intervention they were making in that particular family, in that particular child. I can talk about another incident where one parent met me in the grocery one time and said, "Listen, are you involved with this Crossroads programs?" I said, "Yes, but you know, when people meet you, you're looking for what bad they're going to bring." She said, "Thank you so much." She said, "My daughter is teaching me so many things that I never learned because when I was in school, these things were not around. So thank you so much for what you're doing." And there are many more stories.
Yes. And
We are
then
actually going to have some of them being spoken about at least one or two testimonies at the program on Saturday.
certainly, and then as part of it as well, I mean, the way how it started, because of course you were one of those people that were very instrumental in getting this program started, but we also had people like Miss Jenny Boudram and Mr. Finbar Sibru, who we lost over the years, but you know, their spirits still remained in this program, and they were very dedicated to making sure that this was successful.
Absolutely, Candice. Absolutely, Candice. I still remember Mr. Sebro saying that he's not going to give up on his children, not going to. And when he was at Bishop's High School at the time, this is before he went on to Mason Hall, there was a time when we had no funding for the program. And Mr. Sebro made sure that that program was kept on in schools so that when they had it was a change of so this was in the previous administration. So we started actually in the schools. Initially it was in 2001, and then the program stopped, and then we started again in 2005. So Mr. Seaver was at Bishop's when we started initially, and when the change happened to the new administration, he was one of them who came and said to the chief secretary at that point in time, he said, "Sir, that I know my children are going to do well. They are bright. They will do well in their maths and English and whatever. But you see, this program, which teaches them about morals and values, I cannot do without this program, because if the children do not have this foundation, all the other areas that you're teaching them in is not going to make a difference at the end of it." So he understood the value of the program, and of course, he was a part of our board before he died.
Yes. And of course, the work continues, but of course, the work doesn't come without some sort of cost. It costs something to keep a program
Absolutely.
like this running, which is why you are having a fundraiser this weekend.
Yes, it does. So it has been a partnership with the Division of Education from its inception. And you know, there have been challenges with funding, and these challenges didn't start now. They started in 2017, and where we had a significant cut in the funding. But we, by the grace of God, have been able to to continue. And why are we continuing, Candice? Is because of the importance of this program for the students and for the school. The principals tell you this program is making an impact on the students. So we have kept on. We had a big fundraiser in 2019 before COVID, and that was the first poor man's dinner that we had, and that was at Magdalena. With the patron for that program was Her Excellency at the time,
Yes.
President Paula May Weeks, and that
Yes.
was in 2019 November. We had another one during COVID. It was online, but this is our next major fundraiser that we are having, and this our patron for this event is going to be Dr. Eastlyn Mackenzie. Everybody knows Dr. Mack and her input. She has, invested in young people. Invested in everybody, invested in Tobago. She's our patron for this program on Saturday. We also have our feature speaker, Deborah Jean-Baptiste. Everybody knows Deborah, orator, and she has really graced us with her presence before, and she's going to do so again. We are going to have um, the artists like Dr. Nicola Dalrymple. Everybody knows Nikki. Um, um, Deshelle Morrison, a panist, and I heard her play once, and it was excellent. And she's one of the players for Cats and Jammers. She's going to be with us, and we are also going to have one of the students from the Scarborough Secondary School who happens to be the junior Calypso monarch. And she's actually going through the Crossroads program now. And everybody knows how excellent her presentation was at the Calypso monarch competition. And it was all about values. So we are going to be joined by Nataki Thompson, and it's going to be an excellent program. We are asking people to come out and join us at Magdalena on Saturday afternoon. It's from 7 to 9 p.m. We are asking people to be seated, Kandace, by 6:45. You know there is no event that Dr. Mac is at that starts late.
Certainly,
So we are
certainly.
going to be starting promptly at 7. So people are to be seated by 6:45 p.m.
And I know from past experience that they're going to be in for a wonderful treat, especially with Miss Jean Baptiste and so on there, and just
Yes.
all the people that you mentioned, especially Dr. Mack.
Yes.
So, how can
Yes.
people get tickets? How can they be a part of the cause?
Right. 6350839. That's the office number, Candice. We still have tickets remaining, or 752, the other number. So 6350839 or 752 7524908. 7524908 or 6350839. You can get tickets there.
All right. So, I mean, there you have it. And of course, and then is there a way also for people to make donations?
Absolutely. Yes, they are. You can make donations, and again, you can get the information at the office, but we do have an account at or bank account is at Magdalene is a bank account is at Scotiabank, and you can get the Scotiabank number from Candice.
All right, great.
Yes, yes, yes,
Okay, so I mean, Dr. Rami, yes, I just want to thank you so much because, of course, we know that this Crossroads program has really seen quite a lot of success. I've seen the growth of it because it was started at a time, as you remember, when I was still in school.
she was in school when it started. Yes,
Yes,
so she has
certainly.
benefited from. Yes. Yes, yes, Candice. Yes, it has been going for a while, and we are thankful that we are able to continue the program. Yeah.
All right, great. So, viewers, please get involved. Please help support this program. I mean, we can't just sit here and complain about what's been going on with our youth and not,
Yes.
throw support behind programs such as this that are trying to make that difference and are trying to make that
Yes.
intervention with our young
Yes.
people.
Yes. Thank you so much. Oh, I didn't also mention Family Life Tobago at Gmail is another. You can get to us by or Gmail account, familylifetobago@gmail.com.
All right, well, thank you so much, Dr. Remy. And
Thank you, Candice, and I'm looking forward to seeing you there. I know we have jazz and all that this weekend, but this is at 7 p.m. It's after the story on the beach. So I hope we're seeing you there too.
yes,
Okay, goodbye and God bless.
thank
All
you
right.
so much, Dr. Remy. All right, viewers,
Thank
well, we got to go for a break, but we'll be right back just after this.